back to the Football Appreciation YouTube channel. Now, it looks like Liverpool completed the Konate signing. It's been kind of rumbling on for a while. I think everyone knew that Liverpool were going to buy centre-back this summer, even if they kept Ozan Kabak, which it looks like they're not going to, which honestly surprises me, but I think it's interesting that they've signed Konate. Now, look, if you look at Konate's numbers, they're amazing. Obviously, this is in a very small sample size. It's about 1,000 minutes. But first of all, if you just look at the people he's compared to on the right, people like Wesley Fofana, his numbers, he's in that like elite band of young centre-backs in Europe. And the one thing I like about Konate is, now you'll probably look at these numbers and think, his pressures, his tackles, his interceptions, they're all pretty low. But Leipzig mostly play a back three, especially when Konate plays, which could be an issue because Liverpool don't really play that. But that's why his defensive numbers are down. This is the case at literally every club in Europe. If you're playing a back three, your defensive numbers are lower. The things that I like about Konate is, look, he's only 21, obviously, but all his on-the-ball numbers are amazing. Obviously he's not like an elite passer like someone like Van Dijk is, but on the ball, carrying the ball, dribbling, all these things he's excelling at a very young age. Same with aerial wins. Now, 3.35 might not sound incredible. Like, it's not actually better than someone like Nat Phillips, but for a 21-year-old, most young centre-backs have terrible aerial win rate, like even tall ones. So, I know he's not centre-back, but like Tammy Abraham, for example, doesn't have a good aerial win rate. So that's promising. He's good on the ball. His defensive numbers are down, but you'd assume they'd probably go up if he was in Liverpool because he'd play a back four. And these numbers would obviously go down because when you're playing on the right or the left of a back three, which Konate does, these numbers are always going to be higher. It's just how it works, right? Obviously, the big issue that I don't really see people speaking about is his injury record. Now, this is his injury record just on Transfermarkt. Now, he had a big injury where he missed like basically the whole season about 2 years ago. And this is the big issue for me because I do like the signing. Genuinely, I really rate Konate. But Liverpool are buying Konate because they've got loads of injuries. I was kind of looking at, and look, don't wrong, they probably won't get the same amount of injuries as they have this season ever again. But Van Dijk, we don't know how he's going to come back from this injury. That could reoccur. That happens a lot with players where they get a big injury, then they kind of start to get niggly injuries. Joe Gomez has so many injuries for such a young guy, even back when he was at Charlton. Joel Matip's injury prone. And then they're looking to replace Reece Williams / Nat Phillips or Kabak, who it looks like they're not going to keep, which surprises me because he's pretty decent in the air. His defensive numbers are good. He's in the top % for dribbles. I'm surprised they're not keeping Kabak, considering I swear the option to buy is like 15 mil. I'm surprised they're not buying him. That seems weird to me. But even if you remove Kabak from this for a second, look, this gives them way more depth. And you can even drop Fabinho into this, or even Henderson, really. But this gives them 6 options, which at the start of the season, it looked like they had 3. Obviously, Nat Phillips is coming into them really well. So is Reece Williams, by the way. I think that you're probably going to have to pick one of them. You either get rid of Williams or Phillips. For me, you loan them out. Or if Phillips, you probably sell him. Or on Williams, you loan out. For me, you pick one of them. Personally, I'd pick Reece Williams purely because he's so much younger. Reece Williams has been surprisingly good. 4.3 aerial duels for how old is Reece Williams? For a 20-year-old kid in the Premier League, his first season, that is genuinely absurd. He's up there with Lewis Dunk and Gerard Piqué. Like, he's an elite guy in the air for someone that young, and he's really good on the ball. So personally, if I was them, I'd stick with Reece Williams as like the 5th choice centre back in this, and just kind of move on Nat Phillips while his price is high. Personally, that's what I would do anyway. So then you've got your 5th choice, right? And I think their fullback positions are pretty safe. Nico Williams actually had a really good season. All his underlying numbers are pretty good, and it kind of justifies why they got rid of Keanu Herbert. But Van Dijk and Gomez are always going to be your starters. Konate is easily good enough to play there. And then Matip, Williams and Fabinho. For me, that's a really good age profile. Because when Van Dijk starts to get ageing, and so does Matip, then Konate can come in. You've got Reece Williams, who hopefully will be ready by then. So look, this is a good signing. I'm a bit worried by, his injury record. That concerns me a lot. But you'd assume that Liverpool are clever enough to kind of sort that out. Like they did this with Nabil Fekir. They found something in his injury record. And look, Liverpool, I know they've had loads of injuries this season, but before that, their injury record is incredible. So you'd hope that this is something that can be overcome by just a good medical. And a torn muscle fibre, I'm no doctor, but that does worry me a bit for someone so young, especially someone that's so reliant on his pace as well. But overall, good signing for Liverpool. It's in the right bracket of that 25 mil to 30, 25 to 40 mil kind of range. It's worth a punt for me because I assume they're not going to have the injuries that they will in other seasons. They've got midfielders who can cover there. It's worth the risk for me when you look at their team, and they'll probably get some money for Nat Phillips. Personally, if I was them, I'd still keep Kabak. I find it weird that they're not signing Kabak, because even if Liverpool signed Kabak for that 15 mil, they could easily sell him to like a mid-table Premier League club for 20 mil. But overall on Konate, good signing, makes sense, and yeah, it looks like it's going to get done. So if you enjoyed, subscribe. I'll do more sort of these videos on Liverpool and the transfers that are going on, because I'm sure it's going to start to kick on now with the Euro starting. But yeah, subscribe. Peace.